This is section 7.1 in the Green Book. Tonight you'll do the 7.1 homework that's on the board. However, this will not be on your test on Friday. So when we're talking about the coordinate plane, a coordinate plane is basically made up of two number lines. So the first, which we call the x-axis, goes horizontally, and so everything from 0, greater is positive, less than 0 is negative. So with a number line, it's one-dimensional. With a coordinate plane, it's two-dimensional because it has two dimensions, the x-axis and the y-axis. Again, this is another number line that lies on top, running vertically, where 0 and higher is positive and everything less than 0 is negative. It's like a thermometer. We call the horizontal line the x-axis. We call the vertical line, the one that goes up and down, the y-axis. When we plot a point, this is called an ordered pair. The first number in the ordered pair stands for the x-coordinate, and the second number to the right stands for the y-coordinate. Together we call it an ordered pair. That is the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate. The center point on the coordinate plane is called the origin. Ordered pair for the origin is 0, 0. An ordered pair is kind of like an address. Basically, the first part of your xy coordinate, okay, this x, y. The x is really your across movement, and the y is your up and down movement. Okay? This would be your x, this would be your y. So whenever I see that ordered pair, it's basically telling me where to go on this coordinate plane. Go across 3 and up 2, since it's positive. To the right is positive 3, and then up positive 2. So if I go to plot, basically I start at my origin, and now I'm going to move across negative 3, that would be left 3, and then up positive 1. Okay, and then for B, I'm going to move positive 5, so that means I start at my origin, I'm going over 5, and then down 4 to this point. Next, I'm going to do C, which is to the left 4, and then down 6. And D, which is 0 across, and 5 up. Now, we have special names for the areas, the 4 different boxes, the 4 different corners. We call the upper right corner is called the first quadrant, and we label these with Roman numerals only. So the upper right-hand corner, where both lines are positive, across is positive, up is positive, it's the first quadrant, and we label it with Roman numerals only. And then we go counterclockwise. So quadrant 2 would be to the left, quadrant 3 would be down, and quadrant 4 would be to the right. So those are our 4 quadrants, and we use only Roman numerals to identify them. All right. So name the quadrant where each point would be located. So I can do this, just make a little graph here, and you'll see. So if I'm going positive 2 then down 6. I end up in, remember this is 1, I'm going to make one big, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. So I'm going across 2 and down 6. We end up in the 4th quadrant. Okay. The next one, I'm going to go to the right, positive 5. I'm going to go this way and then up positive 7, so that's quadrant 1. The next one, I'm going left 6, down 5. So that would be quadrant 3. Then I'm going to go to the right and down. That's quadrant, to the right and down. That would be quadrant 4. Now, pause the recording and you try the next few on your own. Now check your work. So I'm going to the left 7, up 12, that's quadrant 2. It doesn't matter that we have these big numbers because it's 240 positive. That means I go right, and then -1 means go down, so that's quadrant 4. The next one, I'm going to the left -19, and then up 7,400, and that takes me to quadrant 2. And then I'm going to go across 7, and I'm going to stop. And so I'm not really going to be in a quadrant. I'm going to be on an axis. Hopefully you got all those right. All right, name the quadrant. Why don't you pause the recording, and I want you guys to sit with the person next to you and talk about what each of these are. Pause the recording. Now let's check our work. So where the x-coordinate and y-coordinate are both positive, again, I'm drawing it. I'm going positive, positive. It means I'll be in quadrant 1. Second one is where the quadrant in which the x-coordinate is positive, I'm going positive, and the y-coordinate is negative. That would take me into quadrant 4. Right? The next one, which the x-coordinate and the y-coordinate are both negative. So I'm going negative and then negative. So that would take me to quadrant 3. Quadrant in which the x-coordinate is negative, negative, boom, and y is positive. So that takes me to quadrant 2. Okay, let's move on. If you'd like to, you can pause the recording and write these notes. All right, so given ordered pairs, the x part, the across values are called our domain, the y values are called our range. So if I were to state my domain, I'd be talking about all the x's, 3, 4, -3, 0, -4. If I were to state the range, I would just list all the y's, which would be -2, 1, -2, 1, -4, 2, 0, you see? And then as we plot the points, we just start going across and up, across and up, across and up. We're down. And you get something like this. All right, pause the recording, and I'd like you to draw a sketch. Sketch your x and y axis. You do not need to number the points. You can always just count the lines. I want you to get used to that. So I'd like you to take a minute and plot all these points. Pause the recording, and in 5 minutes, we'll turn it back on and you can check your work. All right, now let's check your work. Here's A, -5, 1. B, C. And we're playing connect the dots. Every time you plot one, you connect it to the last one. E, F, E, H, I, J, K, L. And then we go back. And you should have gotten something that looks like this. Well, that's it. We're out. That's the lesson for the day. Have a great night. And remember, there's a chapter test on Friday. If you want to come early for period 1, you may. Period 6, I'll let you stay late into homeroom. That's the lesson.